All right, good morning, everyone. This is the routine weekly briefing here on this Thursday, December 15th for Central North Carolina. This will cover the period Thursday through next Wednesday, the 21st of December. Before we go into the specifics of the extended forecast and the rest of this weekend, we do have a marginal risk for strong to severe storms, primarily across the eastern sandhills and the southern coastal plain. And the primary threat with that will be some damaging winds. You've probably seen a lot of rain has moved into the area, basically from last night into much of this morning. We do have that chance that there could be some scattered thunderstorms developing once we get into this afternoon hours. But right now, we're not seeing any severe threat as of yet. But that would potentially come into the early afternoon hours south and east of the Raleigh area. So what's going on right now is we have a lot of shower activity that's pushing in from the south and the west. And this is all ahead of a cold front that is currently to our west over the Tennessee Valley. We have a warm front that is moving through the area as well, and that will produce potentially that severe threat in our south and eastern counties this afternoon. But this rain is moving to the east northeast, and it should be moving out by the evening hours, leading to a much drier pattern as we head into the weekend and into the middle of next week. How much rain has fallen so far? This is the estimated accumulation as of 11 a.m. this morning. As you move toward the coast, there's been less precipitation, anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to maybe 1/4 of an inch. Going into basically the Sandhills and the central Piedmont, anywhere from 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, and even higher amounts as you go towards the northwestern Piedmont, up to 1 inch to 1.25 inches, and in Asheville potentially up to 2 inches of rain. So some very beneficial rain. We continue to be under some drought across southern and eastern parts of North Carolina, so any rainfall is much appreciated. So for the upcoming weather pattern for Central North Carolina the next 7 days, as I mentioned before, we have a cold front that is moving through the area this evening. Widespread rain will come to an end late this afternoon, and as that front moves through, we'll have some lingering moisture around that could potentially lead to some fog overnight tonight, primarily across the western Piedmont. We'll likely see below normal temperatures following behind this front both tomorrow and Saturday. Temperatures topping out in the mid-40s to the low to mid-50s in the south and east. We will have a reinforcing cold front come through Saturday night. This cold front Saturday night is going to be a dry one, and we're not going to see any precipitation with that front. It will bring, however, much chillier temperatures Sunday into early next week, with temperatures only topping out in the low to mid-40s, eventually rising into the mid to upper 40s. We may see a little bit of a warming trend towards Wednesday before yet another cold front may potentially move through on Wednesday. So all in all, after today, it's going to be largely dry with below normal temperatures, as high pressure kind of largely remains in place from Sunday into the middle of next week. Doing this next slide here, we have visiting with us from Holly Springs High School, Molly Busbus, a senior.
Okay, over the next day or so, we'll have most of our precipitation. In Raleigh, we'll have about 1 inch or so of accumulation, with just a little bit now down near Wilmington at about 1/2 inch or less. Some in Asheville. The next few days, there's not going to be much accumulation of any type of precipitation. Some on Saturday, and as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, our 5-day total is almost a mirror of today, because that's all of the accumulation for the next 5 days.
Thank you, Molly. Going into our drought monitor here for Central North Carolina, this was updated on Tuesday, so It does not incorporate any rain that we've had last night or what we'll have today. But what has changed from the previous map last week is that the drought has been removed over the mountains of western North Carolina, but the drought has expanded in eastern North Carolina because they really have not been receiving much of the rain. Most of that rain has occurred along and west of US 1. So any rain we receive today, we're not sure whether that may improve the conditions that are currently there. They have basically abnormally dry to moderate drought currently over the south and eastern part of North Carolina. Any rain though is beneficial, but it will depend on how much rain occurs today, whether or not some of that could be removed into next week's update. From the Weather Prediction Center, the excessive rainfall outlook, we are not expecting any flash flooding today with the front moving through. A lot of the showers are going to be relatively fast moving, so we're not anticipating that flash flood potential. And then Friday and Saturday, we are dry, so as a result, no flash flooding expected there. Molly has our next slide here.
You know, over the next week or so, we're not expecting any risks above a marginal risk or even just a thunderstorm risk. Today is our highest risk, which in our region is a level 1 marginal risk, and for other parts of North Carolina, just general thunderstorms.
Probably the next thing to talk about after we move through today, not really precipitation wise, but bitterly cold temperatures are in store as we head into the holiday week. So basically from December 22nd through the 28th, the Climate Prediction Center has updated their forecast to include a high risk of much below normal temperatures pretty much for most of central North Carolina, basically especially along and west of US 1, where even there is a moderate risk of much below normal temperatures from Fayetteville up to Rocky Mount and over the coastal plain. We are having a really bitter cold air mass that is set to move in that week of the holidays. And so that's a very one of our major potential impacts in the extended. So widespread below freezing temperatures are expected throughout the Southeast, including the Carolinas. Right now, the timing is expected to lead up and continue through December 22nd through the 28th. And that cold weather is expected to move southward and then eastward as that week 2 period progresses. So just some safety things to keep in mind is to be prepared for this cold weather. When it is freezing, just to limit some time outdoors, dress in layers, check on your neighbors, and protect your pets. Don't leave them outdoors because they certainly enjoy the warm weather inside. All right, going into our weather summary. We do have a cold front moving through the area this afternoon or this evening. The widespread rain that is over the area right now will come to an end late this afternoon. We do have the chance, marginal risk, a level 1 out of 5 of some severe storms before that front moves through over the southern coastal plain and the eastern sandhills this afternoon. The primary threat will be some damaging winds. Once the front moves through, we'll have some fog possible overnight tonight, but following below normal temperatures and dry weather through much of the extended forecast. Another cold front will move through Saturday night into early Sunday. That will bring in a reinforcing shot of some chillier temperatures Sunday and early next week with highs in the 40s. And then cold high pressure will largely remain in place Sunday into the middle of next week. So dry and cold in the extended forecast. That is all we have for the